Thank you so much for coming out this evening. A little chilly, but the rain's held off, so that's wonderful. Thank you to the Vibes out front, Northville High School band. They performed for our first hour and a half here. They were great outside. Hopefully you heard them in here. I think they were quite loud, but thank you to them. Fantastic music. They were just great. They performed earlier in the year for us at a Young Artist Art Fair that was over at the Millrace Village. And we loved them so much, we invited them back, so they're enjoying their pizza now, and they're very happy. So, again, thank you. We've got two unbelievable exhibits here this evening. The first one here, Go With The Flow, Juried Alcohol Inc. exhibition, and then we have a split gallery here, kind of the first time, and we have Jessica Waterstraat, illustrations from the book, The Acorn and the Oak. We're going to start off, we're going to talk a little bit on the Alcohol Inc. show, and then that'll be followed by a gallery talk from Jessica and her mother, Rhonda Carta. So it's wonderful, and so thank you again for being here. This is such a great opportunity. Every year we do about 4 juried shows, and we kind of select different medium to do those shows in, and we have a committee that meets monthly, and this spring we decided on Alcohol Inc. and wow, what tremendous work we have here. Thank you to our artists. We have our artists here right now. Before everyone else, can you raise your hands? I know who's here. Daria Folletta is here, I think here. Donna Bowersox is around here somewhere.
Just went downstairs.
Went downstairs, okay. Peggy Kerwin. Yeah. Bob Leslie.
Yeah.
We got Bob here. Who else? I think. We got Stephanie Gregg up there. We got Kelsey. Are you here? Sauerland? Kelsey's here. I don't know if Penelope Trix came in. Marianne Drost. And then the other 2 artists we have, Nina Yoakum and Sonali Mahanti. They're from out of state. So they are from Connecticut and, oh gosh, I'm not going to say, where is it work? Anyways, wonderful to have them here. But the reason why they're here is because of our juror. I want to introduce you, our Northville artist, longtime instructor here, Julie Woodard. She's going to say a few things on the exhibit.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for attending, and thanks for contributing to this beautiful, beautiful show. I'm going to start out. Well, how many are artists, just in general? How many artists? Raise your hand. Alcohol Inc. artists. Everybody. Appreciators of Alcohol Inc. Okay. Alcohol Inc. is kind of a new thing, right? And there's a very funny story. I'm going to kind of read this little synopsis, a little conversation, and I think that you can relate either as a customer or an artist of Alcohol Inc. because they are relatively new. So this is actually from a woman named Serena Weber. I follow her. She's on Facebook, Alcohol Inc. Art on Tile, Yupo, and Canvas. And she had a very funny story she was telling us. And she said she was preparing for this big show. She had this tent up, and a customer came into her booth. And she introduced herself, "Hi, I'm an Alcohol Inc. artist," as we all have probably done, right? And the customer says, "Oh, I see, and this is your work." Pauses awkwardly. "So how long have you had your problem?" And the artist, thinking by problem she meant art, "Oh, about 6 months." And the customer said, 6 months? Well, that's not too long. Are you recovering? And the artist responds, "I'm going to take this week off to rest up and then get right back into it." So the customer says, "Do you drink while you paint?" And the artist says, "No, I paint with the drink. I use alcohol." "But isn't it expensive?" "Absolutely. I've spent about $2,000 in the last 6 months. $2,000? Yep, and that's using rubbing alcohol." Oh my. "So do you go to AA?" Me thinking, is that a new art club? No, Alcoholics Anonymous. You said you were an alcoholic artist. Artist, finally understanding the last 3 minutes of conversation. Alcohol Inc. as ink suspended in alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic, I'm an artist who paints with alcohol. Oh, so you don't drink the paint. No. And so then the customer, I was wondering why an alcoholic artist would introduce themselves as an alcoholic artist. I was also wondering how you were able to speak so well with having drank $2,000 of rubbing alcohol. Well, that explains a lot. So I don't know if any of you have run into similar situations. I know I've had on my work alcoholic, artists and alcoholic inks, and I'm like, the inks aren't alcoholic. They don't have a problem. They are just fine. But anyway, it is kind of funny to try to explain this medium to people who don't really know it or understand it, or even if you used it, you really still don't know it or understand it. What are alcohol inks? They are inks or dye, very, very strong, suspended in alcohol. I think I was talking to somebody earlier, but I read somebody was saying the auto industry in the 60s actually came up with this stuff to stain metal. They were looking for ways to stain metal. I don't know if that's true or not, if anybody can corroborate that story, but then kind of fast forward, I've seen it more for scrapbooking and Tim Holtz, and it's like a really big thing to stain papers and draw on top of them, put photos on top of them, and then now turning it into a fine art medium. So I actually I was running a camp for kids, and I'm a watercolor artist, been a watercolor artist for probably about 30 years now, and so I'm used to kind of the out of controlness of water mediums, but anyway, I had this fun with paper camp group, and it was going to be a big group, like 10 plus kids in the summertime. And I was going to do marbling paper. And the thought of having 10 gallons of water with children in the summertime terrified me. And I was looking for a way to marbleize paper without all 10 gallons of water. So there was a neat thing on YouTube, and you use shaving cream and these inks, and you kind of run a comb through it and press some paper in it. It's really cool marbled paper. So got through that, no lifeguard needed, no drownings, we're good, right? So that's the first start of alcohol inks for me. And then I had the opportunity to teach it, but I really didn't know too much about it. So I'm researching and YouTubing and all this stuff and just playing with it and trying it on different surfaces and trying all different subject matters and how to control this thing, which is just way more out of control than watercolor. And all the mediums, the different pigments even have different properties. Some kind of like to sit and stay, and some just go whoosh. And so it's just, it's just a really fun experiment every time you do a painting. I was trying to figure out how I can control it yet still maintain the beauty of it. I just love bright colors. It's really fascinating to just kind of get the shapes and the patterns and the colors that you get. Very kind of organic types of shapes. It really opens up my mind to, like if I'm ever stuck in a rut, dripping some inks on something, and then you start to kind of see shapes emerge, or it kind of opens up your brain to more creativity, which is what I love about the medium. Anyway, so that brings us to, what the beautiful show, what am I looking for as a juror? And it's a really, really hard show to judge. Like any art show, I think is super hard to judge. I'm looking for the artist to kind of allow the medium to show itself off and its beautiful qualities. I look for interesting shapes and textures and a composition that keeps my eye in the painting. Well, the problem is that describes every single painting in this room. So anyway, it was a really, really rough show to judge. I love everything here, and that's also why I did want all the works here, and I'm so glad for everybody contributing in your hard work. Anyway, without further ado, let's give out some awards.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you, Julie. We have 6 awards this evening, and we'll start right off. We have 2 honorable mentions, and we're going to start off with our first honorable mention is for Field Flowers by Daria Folletta, Elbow and Gun Power. Please right here. So come on up, Daria.
I just love all the organic shapes and the different things that kind of happen when you look really close at it. It's
difficult to rein it in.
It is, right? But that's the beauty of it too. Don't rein it in too much. It's gorgeous. Really gorgeous.
Congratulations, Daria. All right. The next up, honorable mention, is to Bob Wesley for surprise winner, Alcohol Inc. on Clay Board. Congratulations, Bob.
Thank you.
All right, our fourth place award goes to a piece on the back wall here. It's Peggy Kerwin's Luna Fish. Alcohol Inc.
I love all the shapes and colors and like even the extra stuff you probably did erase with in a fish to get the fins, extra little thing, the swirls, so super cool.
Congratulations, Peggy.
Thank you.
Third place goes to Kelsey Sutherland for Black Agate. Agate?
Oh.
Agate. This piece right here.
Beautiful. And it's hard to get that also just so clean and then the lines just sort of stay and the gold shimmer through it. I love it. Yeah.
That's you.
All right, our second place award goes to Penelope Trikes for musicians. Don't know if Penelope's in,
Little one up there.
but she's not here tonight.
All of the faces in it. Very stunning work.
And so that leaves us for our last place award. And I don't know, I can't do it.
Drum roll.
I can't do it. Stephanie Gregg for Deep Waters. Alcoholic I Deep right here.
It just sort of, to me, is the epitome of just all the different shapes and textures and whimsical and just all sorts of cool stuff happening in that painting. So amazing, yeah. Really different subject matter. I love that fish. So great job, everybody. Though you're all winners, and thanks for being in the show. Keep painting. Keep staining your fingers.